Getting sober is terrifying. It is. It's so fucking scary. Everything about it. Leading up to it, oh man, like I wanted it so bad and I aspired to do it, but as the time came closer and closer and closer, I always got so scared. And I chickened out, basically, like so many times I was like, okay, after tonight, after Saturday, after something like that. But then that night was ending and I was already planning my escape, and that, it was all fear-based. And then I got sober, and those first few days, fucking terrifying, of course. I started going to meetings and stuff, terrifying. Everything is scary, mainly because it's all unknown. As alcoholics, like we live a certain way. I know I did, and it was drunk. And so not being drunk terrified me. I hadn't really known it since I was like a kid, since I was like in my mid-teens. The way that I got over that fear was talking to other fucking people who were going through it. Sitting in terror alone, without any kind of clarity, stuck in our own heads, that goes badly. Of course it does. Think of how many times you have been freaked out about something, any situation, and you're like, fuck, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what's going on. It's a lack of clarity. And then you talk to somebody about it, and they're like, no, it's fine. We'll just do it like this. That could be like dinner plans. It could be a trip. It could be a project, a job, anything. And when you get a little bit of clarity, it alleviates your fear. And for me, that's why it was so important, and still is so important for me to surround myself with people who have gone through it. Because all those things are normal. It is so normal to be terrified. That is one of the most important things that like people told me early on. When I said, oh, this is fucked up, they're like, yep, that's normal. Like, I don't know what to do about this. It'll work itself out. Being freaked out about it, it's normal. The fear is real. We are allowed to feel fear, feelings, everything. We're humans. Without booze, it makes the fear even worse. The whole world is really scary. Just the idea of going back and doing anything in my life, having a conversation with somebody, fucking talking on the phone, going to the store, hanging out with family, everything just filled me with abject terror. I had to just do them. I just had to do them and talk to people who were sober, who had gone through those things to help alleviate my fears. Now getting sober and being sober for years, I'm still terrified of shit. Of course I am. I'm a person. We are allowed to be scared and we're allowed to feel fucked up. And this kind of switch from active alcoholism into recovery, it's like fucking second puberty, You're filled with all of these, what feel like new emotions, but they've just been lying dormant for so long. If you are terrified and you feel fucked up, normal. Of course it's normal. Getting sober is terrifying. It's a really scary thing. But like most things that are scary, doing it is worth it. It really is. There are a lot of things that I have always been terrified of in my life that when I get through it, I'm like, wasn't as bad as I thought. And sobriety is the biggest, because I thought it was gonna be the worst thing. And turns out it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So if you're scared, yeah, it's normal, be scared. It's terrifying. But talk to somebody. Find someone who's gone through it. Find someone who knows what you're talking about. Because people in the real world, non-alcoholics, they don't know. They don't get it. But alcoholics do. Of course we do. We've been through it. So find one of us.